cannot sit at home, thank you so much for being here. So this video is going to be all about culturally diverse places in Ontario. To be exact, there's going to be 9 of them. So what do I mean by that? These are essentially places that are really interesting to check out. I definitely enjoy checking them out, and they also expose you to a new culture. And as a quick disclaimer, please do not take it that, let's say if I show you a grocery store that is Asian, that is all I think Asian culture is all about. I think cultures are beautiful. There's so many facets of different cultures. So these are just little tidbits of the cultural experiences that you could possibly have here in Ontario. But before we head right into it, let me talk about my books. There's a brand new book, Free or Almost Free Ontario Destinations. It just came out. Very proud of it. In addition, I have my weekend getaway book that is for weekend getaways in spring and summer. I also have the fall winter day trips book and spring and summer also day trips book. These books are linked down in the description below, so check them out. So the first place I want to show to you is the Sunset Villa Association. This is actually the place that inspired me to do this video because for about a year I wanted to go here. This is a Danish community. I don't know if it's retirement or not, but it's a number of houses and trailers, and what they do is I think on the second Sunday of every month, I could be incorrect about the Sunday, but it's basically one Sunday per month. They call them Baker Sundays, and they have all of these things that I'm showing you, the sandwiches, the sweets, they have a whole bakery open. Very interesting, and I wanted to go there for about a year. It was on my list, and I finally made it. And what's funny is that when I made it there, it was their Constitution Day, which meant that there was quite the party, and they had performances and even a Viking village. Over here we had Abbeskiver, which is, I'm probably mispronouncing it, which is Danish pancakes. They are really yummy. I highly recommend you try them. I think they're usually on the Baker's Sunday. I'm not totally sure. Over here is the herring sandwich, which was, by the way, really yummy. They have those during the Baker's Sunday. They even had the Danish pastry house as a pop-up over there. This only happens, well, I don't know if this is the only time that it happened, but the Danish pastry house pop-up was only for that. As I understand, for the Baker's Sunday, they have the homemade baked goods in the same space, and they also have a lot of herring products in this bakery as well. Specifically for the Danish Constitution, they had this whole village, Viking village set up, which was fascinating. We walked around, we learned about how they used to make clothes, how they used to eat, how they used to protect themselves. It was very interesting, and we talked to a number of people who were participating. Some of them came all the way from Quebec. Very interesting to learn about the culture, about Vikings, and just eat Danish food. I've had Danish food, of course, before. I really enjoyed those sandwiches. They are on the pricier side. They go from like $9 to about $14, depending on which, but they are really yummy. They also have Danish Place, which is a restaurant over here. That is open, as I understand, every day. Maybe it's closed Monday, check online. But in there, they also had the same sandwiches. And again, I asked the lady, and she's like, yes, on the Baker's Sunday. And I'm going to leave down the website below so that you know when that Baker's Sunday is. They also have the same sandwiches that you can enjoy. So definitely very cool cultural experience. The second place I want to show you is the Asia Food Mart. I really enjoyed this place. It has so many unique things like black duck eggs. That's insane. I actually didn't buy them because I was afraid, but I really want to actually. It looks interesting, and there's a lot of food that are not typical to me that I know about, but it's so fascinating. They had so many different melons and grapefruits, and then we came upon this grapefruit that was $88, and it was packaged in this black box. It's actually, sorry, it's a melon, so it turns out that it's made in Japan, and it's this melon that only grows, like the plant only grows one melon, and there's people who specialize in this kind of melons. Then they have a whole section of different sea creatures, from crabs to oysters. Over here we have lobster, and here is a live king crab. I have only seen live king crab in Alaska. It's pretty crazy. Very interesting supermarket. It is also fairly new. I don't know when it opened. This, by the way, is located in Scarborough. Over here they have eel. These, by the way, are alive. They're just kind of relaxing. Never seen eel alive. What kind of culture is it? I assume this is any Asian culture, so Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese, maybe even some Filipino. I'm not very sure, so it's definitely a mix of everything, and it was awesome to check it out. They have, of course, the matcha, they have Hello Kitty cookies, they had a decoration with the cherry blossoms, which was so beautiful. The most insane amount of teas you can possibly, like any kind of tea you want, they probably have it here. Oreo popcorn, yeah, Chips Ahoy popcorn. They're just unique things. I'm not saying those are Asian things, I'm just saying that they're very unique. Whole section on mochi, I love mochi. And then they have the squid over here. It's kind of an area where you can by weight, buy whatever you want. So over here, different prices from different things. You can get something to go. I don't think there were any tables in there, but you can go home, of course, or go in a park and enjoy it. Over here, we picked up some of the fruits. And even though I've had all of them before, they were so juicy and yummy, I really enjoyed it. The next place is Hamam Spa by Céla. So this is Turkish hammam, and it's definitely quite the experience. It is very beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, the treatments in here are on the expensive side. They are amazing, but I think this experience was for me over $200. My work actually covered it, which was amazing. So what you do is you book your appointment, and over here, first you go into the steam room. It is gorgeous. So this is their signature treatment. This is called Hammam Turkish bath. And from what I remember, this was a couple of years ago, is that first they kind of cleanse you and then they do all of these bubbles that they put on top of you, and they kind of soften your skin, and it is so good. The lady was so lovely. She kept on asking like what kind of water temperature I like, but essentially you're lying on this big slab of marble. This is how the table looks like, gorgeous marble, and everywhere you can see water because the water splashes everywhere. And at the end you get a bit of a tea with some sweets, and you can enjoy a little bit of the downtime. So definitely quite the experience before, after, and during the treatment. And by the way, the Hammam Spa has two locations. One is downtown and one is in North York, Bayview and Shepherd area. So the fourth culturally diverse place I want to mention is the JTown. This is located in Markham, and J stands for Japanese or Japan. And over here we have the nigiri triangles. They were so good. If you go there in the morning of the weekend, I think we were there for about 11 o'clock. They're still warm, so yummy. Then they have a number of markets. They have a fresh mochi place. And then they have a bakery with the most unique looking baked goods I've ever seen. Lots of stuff with matcha. I really enjoyed the baked goods in JTown. Definitely worth a drive. The fifth interesting place culturally is the Canadian Canoe Museum. So first of all, it just opened. This is in Peterborough, about an hour and a half to 2 hours east of Toronto. And it's a beautiful, beautiful space with lots of canoes. You will learn so much about canoes, boats, kayaks, everything like that. But what I really loved about this place is that there's so much dedicated to explaining about the indigenous culture and the canoes and kayaks that they have made. There are a number of stations where you can take a headphone and listen. For example, over here is the Inuk lawyer and activist Jao Peter speaks about the importance of kayaks and amiaks in Inuit culture. Another example over here is the big tree that I think was carved out. Again, there's some information about the Anishinaabe people and how the streams and lakes were their highways. And what's interesting is that they would sink those canoes down into the lake with rocks and ice, form around the boats and canoes, and it would keep them in shape until they would come back in the spring. Here's really cool as well. There's different parts of the canoe, and you can press the button and hear how to pronounce the name of it. Overall, an amazing museum, really well done. And another huge bonus is that they have a dock that goes out right into the lake, and you can actually rent a kayak or canoe for like an hour or half of the day. Really cool place. Number 6 place that I've already posted a video about, but I love it so much and I think everybody should check it out because it's just recently been publicly opened. It's not finished, but it is open and it is free. This is called Wutai Shan Buddhist Garden. This is located kind of in Lindsay, again closer to Peterborough. So if you're gonna do the canoe museum, do the Wutai Shan as well on the same day because they're perfect together. And it's, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a huge garden. It's such a large property and you go from one place to the next. They have a number of sculptures outdoors. Then they have a number of temples with the most beautiful Buddhas. It took us, the first time we were here, it took us about 2.5 hours, maybe even 3 hours to walk around the whole property and check it out. I think it was already in construction for like 18 years. There's so much done, but there's still more to do. They are closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but it's always best to make sure on Google Maps to just make sure the hours before heading over there. Parking was free and the entrance was free. If you are gonna go there on the weekend, especially midday, there are gonna be a lot of people, so just be, you know, mindful of everybody kind of walking around. But if you can try to go in the morning for when it's opened, I think it opens at 10 o'clock. Again, check out on Google Maps just to make sure they don't change it. And if you go in the morning, there's gonna be less people. And over here, as you can see, some of the areas are still not done, but it's still cool to see the development. So the next cultural destination is Aylmer, Ontario. This is about 2 hours west of Toronto. So what this town is known for is they have a huge Mennonite community. Specifically, they actually have a Mexican Mennonite community. I'm going to talk about it in a second. But first, we have the Hope Eco Farm store. This is just a Mennonite store that has a lot of organic items and grains. Prices are really good. You have to, when you're in there, you have to check it out. Make sure to have cash because they do not accept the cards. Another Mennonite place to check out is the Country Flavor Rights Bakery. We actually did check it out, but I didn't film what was inside. But right outside there was a really cool carriage, Mennonite carriage. I definitely love seeing them. Mennomex is what a lot of people go to Aylmer for. This is the Mexican Mennonite store, and it's as if you went to Mexico. There's a whole store with the most different things, a lot of them of course from Mexico. They have a Mexican flag, lots of different flavors. A lot of packaging is in Spanish, but many things are English. If you notice those black areas at the top of each bag, so there says excess calories, excess sugar. It's pretty cool how I'm guessing government of Mexico is kind of making sure people know what they're consuming. I hope that comes to Canada so that we are also aware. And another reason to check out Mennomex is that they make amazing burritos. They also have breakfast burritos. We also had enchiladas, and over here is a bunch of drinks, and this is what we got. They do have a table outside. In the summer it will be nice, but it was very cold when we were there. I have to say the burrito was amazing. This was chicken. It was very, very fresh, really nice. Everything was really nicely and balanced. Enchiladas were also amazing. I managed to get it everywhere, so just, yeah, don't be like me. So keeping with the Mexican theme is that the Hacienda B&B over here is our number 7 location. This is located in Sudbury. It is pretty far. You do have to book it very far in advance, though I do not think that the price to stay here is expensive. It's actually really reasonable, plus you get a breakfast. So it has that gorgeous Mexican look. On the outside you have the beautiful, beautiful pool, and in here you have Mayan calendar, and the main room also has this, I don't know what to call it, totem pole. I don't think it's a totem pole. As I understand, the owners were not the ones to decorate it and build this place. They actually inherited that, but they kept on adding all of the Mexican elements. They have the jacuzzi in there as well to relax. And again, the pool was really lovely. The pool is definitely on the cooler side versus the jacuzzi. And over there, there's even a diving board. I did a separate video about our trip to Sudbury. I'm gonna link it down below if you would like to check it out, because there's also lots to do in Sudbury just to enjoy it. And while there, you can stay over here. And here's the breakfast that the owner made for us. It was so very good. And actually, she asked us what we would like, and those were our kind of choices. And the last place I had to include is the Pacific Mall. Love this mall. I try to go there at least once a year. Definitely quite the experience, definitely cultural experience, like the amount of Kit Kats they have and different sweets and dried fruit and these Lego, or maybe not Lego, things, and so many claw games and so many stores that sell from the phones to different clothing. If you're looking for something unique, you will find it at the Pacific Mall. Pacific Mall, if you don't know, is located in Markham. And for us, it's actually one of the best places to check out when the weather is not the best, like when it's cold. It's a whole day of entertainment. Because on the main floor, you have so many stores, and we collect these little designer toys. And then on the above level, you have actually more stores. Over here, some kind of a medicinal shop with interesting things and different piercings. I love how they're displayed. And of course, the different phones, you can have anything on your phone pretty much. And some of them are very humorous. When we were there, I think it was a Chinese New Year. So there was a concert happening. There were so many elements of the Chinese New Year, so many bright red ones. This, I think Chinese New Year is kind of beginning of February. It's different each year, so make sure to check it out, the calendar. But it's definitely a great time to go to Pacific Mall because the amount of red and the festiveness of it is so beautiful. So over here we're already on the second floor, and the second floor also has a food court with the most insane amount of different stores. The handmade dumplings, there are anything you can possibly want, you will probably find it here. Their challenge is that it does get very busy, especially on the weekends, especially midday. So try to go a little bit off time, so in the mornings or later in the afternoon. Definitely cool seeing people actually make things. For some of this, so over here on nigiri, you have to order and then you come back, and I got a bubble tea and we sampled so many different fish balls. The dumplings actually were our favorite. They were so fresh and good. And just outside of the food court, you will also see the claw game area. I just love how beautiful it is, and I just love looking at different toys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely please let me know of any other cultural experiences that I should check out. I would absolutely love to do a part 2. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe, like, and share. Please also check out my books. They're going to be down in the description below. And I will see you next time. Bye.